What's going on, everybody? This is Nick Lawson from Squad Sports. We're really excited to be supporting the Free Agent Friday series. A lot of great talent out there. Without further ado, this is the next free agent you should be signing with your sports team.
Well, we're back for another Free Agent Friday, and today I've got Mireya Martinez with me. How's it going?
Oh, hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good. Thanks for joining me.
For having me. Thank you. I mean, I'm sure I can speak for myself. I really appreciate what you're doing. I'm sure a lot of other people do as well.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I mean, we've already had a few people land jobs from since we did videos. Now, I don't know if we were helpful there or not, but hey, they two that I know of are now employed. So, I mean, that's the goal: get people back to work as quickly as we can, and
For sure.
the network that I have and other people have can really help push and get people in front of people. So, and it's what's been great is you see all these other people, random people I don't even know, like sharing and saying, hey, tagging somebody else and say, you might want to check out this person. They might be a good fit for you. So it's been really cool to see people coming together to try to help out. So tell me about where you went to school, your degree that you have.
Yeah, so I went to school at the University of Texas at Arlington, in Arlington, Texas. I graduated with a degree in PR, public relations, and I minored in Spanish.
What point did you want to get into sports? Like, did you always know that, or was that just something that came after the fact?
I always knew that. I was such a big sports nut when I was little. I was like a super fan for the Texas Rangers, which pray for me because that is a really painful franchise to give your heart away to. And
Such disappointment.
my parents always just kind of knew, like when I was 7 or 8, I would have like these little notebooks and I would like keep track of like everything that happened throughout the game. And yeah, like my dad's friends still see me and they're like, hey, how many RBIs does Rafael Palmeiro have? I'm like, oh, it's 20, because I would know
Yeah.
at any given time. It's so weird. So my dad always thought that I would do that. I wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
And then I don't know. I went to UTA with the purpose of working in sports. Like I was down the street from the Rangers, down the street from the Dallas Cowboys. I was in the middle of both Fort Worth and Dallas, and the opportunities were just endless. So I didn't really know exactly how I was going to land in it, but
Right.
trying to give myself the best chance.
That's a good spot. So you grew up in that area?
Yeah, I grew up in Mansfield, which is about 20 minutes south
Okay.
of.
How are you just like, is baseball your thing, or?
It has my heart, but all of the career's been in golf.
That's what I saw. I was going to ask you if you were a golfer or where that came from.
And it's so funny. So I was, like I said, I was at UTA trying to, kind of break into either the Cowboys or the Rangers. And I couldn't afford to take an unpaid internship, which is a lot of sports offered. But I was friends with the golfers, actually the UTA golf team. Some of them lived across the hall from me in college. And I was over there hanging out one day, and, they were talking about how, like, hey, we have a really good team, but nobody really wants to, like, write about us. And I was like, boys, this is my chance. Let's go. So I started doing that. I started just writing, like, they had such awesome, like, personality profiles that I could write about, and I just started doing that. And the assistant coach had this little blog that I think like the parents read, and he'd like publish them on that and like just try to give me publicity. They would pay me in t-shirts.
Nice.
But, yeah, and then the university's website, the people that ran that asked if I wanted to write for them, so I did a few things for them. And then yeah, I created that network, which led to other opportunities, which was cool.
Did you do any other internships or anything, volunteer work during college?
Yes. So I worked for ESPN events in Fort Worth, and we did 2 different bowl games, the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl, and then it was then the Zaxby's Heart of Dallas Bowl. And they both, one of them serviced the military and the other one benefited first responders. And so it was really cool.
Gotta love some Zaxby's too. I missed that. There's not one around where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
It's
This
been
is
a
actually
while.
a big joke.
So what did you get into when you graduated then?
When I graduated, I took a job in public relations as an account coordinator in construction because I
Okay.
couldn't find anything in sports. And it definitely taught me a lot as far as like account management and just like powering through. I was so used to like loving everything about my job and my job being super exciting. And, I was writing like, all of a sudden I found myself making social media plans for like a spray foam insulation company. And it's just not
I
as,
get real creative at that point.
yeah. So it really tested my creativity and like, taught me to like power through like, okay, like not everything's going to be fun. You still have to do it and you still have to do a good job. So did that. And then right around 2016, like October 2016, one of the guys that I knew at UTA that played on the golf team, he ended up becoming the assistant pro at Trinity Forest Golf Club, which is where we held the Byron Nelson up until this year. And Trinity Forest was just opening up, and he gave me a call and was like, I'm not really sure how you can help, but I know that you can help us. Like, do you want to take this leap? And it was a pay cut, but I was like, let's go. Like, I'm so ready to be back. And sure enough, we had no idea. Like when I showed up, there was a shipping container, and then we moved into this double wide.
That was
trailer.
your office?
Yeah.
Nice.
We moved into this double wide trailer, and I kind of just did a little bit of everything. I like sat at the front desk and like ran the retail side of it, which the pro shop was like the living room of the trailer. But like then I also got into like the operation side, the like accounting side, accounts payable and receivable. I did a little bit of like HR while I was there, and it just kind of consisted of me just wearing many hats. Like,
Yeah.
oh, the boys need help outside, like scrubbing the carts, on it, like just everything, which I loved. And so there's something really cool about starting a project like that, like from the very beginning, and all of a sudden you see it grow. I remember right before we had the Byron Nelson, we had this like, we were already in this beautiful clubhouse by then, but I like walked upstairs and just like got a view of the course, and I was like, man, this is so cool. Like I remember when this was dirt and this was a trailer.
No, I was just my last recording I did, we were talking about the same thing, and it's I've done a lot of startups, and it's very fulfilling when you take a idea and concept from nothing to reality. So
Yeah. Cool.
so yeah. So okay, you were in that chaos for a few years, doing everything. Where'd you go next?
So there's a little like side step from that. So while I was at Trinity Forest, there is a performance academy called Altus Performance that also is based at the club, and that is Cameron McCormick. So he coaches people like Jordan Spieth and Daniel Berger. They have their own performance academy, and they brought me on part-time, kind of remotely as contract to help with their operations. So like I've been running their online store for a little bit and helping with their marketing, and helping with any of like the camps that they do for kids, which has also been super fulfilling. But where I moved on from Trinity Forest was to Chisum Sports in Hospitality, and I actually started that job the day that sports got canceled.
Oh, wow.
So I started at 9 a.m. I was so excited. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. And like at 10:30 a.m., Jay Monahan, the commissioner, canceled like all fans and like the next 5 events. And I was like, all right, we're in this. Yeah. So it was very unfortunate timing, but it was such specific timing that I just feel like there's something to be learned here, whatever that is.
So what's kind of your ideal position going forward?
So my position at Chisum was this like unicorn position that I didn't even know could exist. It was half event management, so corporate events for like at different PGA Tour stops. So like, they've done activations for like Google at the Masters, and they have they have really cool clients that are just partners of the PGA Tour, and they get to do really cool events for them. But then also, it was half player management. So getting to help, facilitate the logos on the players and facilitate like their travel schedule. And when I hopped on, COVID hit, so a lot of players had a lot of like Instagram live requests and media requests, and getting to do that, which I loved. I would say like if I had to choose my dream job, it would be on that route, maybe media relations for players or working in some kind of player management capacity.
Nice. What would you say is your biggest skill that you bring to a new position?
I'm a people person. I get my joy from people, and it doesn't seem to burn out. Sometimes I wish it would, but no, it doesn't seem to burn out. And I'm so used to wearing so many hats that I just don't feel like I'm above doing the dirty work. And I feel like there's actually a lot to learn from, just doing a little bit of everything, even if that's not what your title is, which in a lot of sports, I mean, that's the case. Everyone wears many different hats, and you just kind of got to get it done. But I think it's maybe the satisfaction that I got from helping Trinity Forest come up and host their first PGA Tour event. And now I know like all that stuff is so important. So I think that's a really big skill that I bring. I'm also very organized, but not like, it's not a conventional
Not OCD.
way. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not type A by any means, but I know what works. And yeah, it just works that way. Like, it's lenient, but it still works.
Where do you think? Yeah, where do you think you need to improve the most?
So there's two different things. One that's more like measurable is data, like any kind of data analytics. Not my strong suit, but that's okay. I've kind of like leaned into that this past month and try to take a few courses here online, just kind of get a little better at it. I mean, no, I haven't had to do much of that in like my previous positions, but I know that, that's something that I wouldn't really know how to do if I had to. So may as well learn right now. And then I don't know, I just always feel like more can be done. And this pandemic has actually taught me like, I can tone that down a little bit. Like, you did your best today. It's fine.
Right.
That's all we can ask for. Don't beat yourself up at night and being like, oh, well, I could have done this better and this better. Like, yeah.
Are you open to relocation, or are you looking for solely Dallas-Fort Worth area?
I would be open to relocation if the opportunity was right, but I feel like there's so much growth in Dallas-Fort Worth, and especially, with the PGA of America headquarters moving here. And even if I had to go into like sponsorship activation, there's so many companies like moving here. So, I have high hopes for Dallas-Fort Worth, and I hope I can find something here.
You can't move away from your Rangers, so.
Oh my gosh. That's my biggest weakness right there, Andrew. I'm a Rangers fan. Like, it is my most toxic trait, is how much I love this franchise that has just broken my heart over the past 20 years.
We gotta find you a new one. So how would you define success?
I define success as any way of making an impact. So if I helped somebody's life, like if I just, if I impacted the way that they did their work for the better, or if I impacted the way that like my team could finish a project better, that's really what success is. I've also like I said earlier, I found a really good joy in like just starting something from the very beginning, like starting a project from its inception to seeing it all the way through. That's really cool. So.
Yeah. How about fun fact about you?
I didn't know English until I was 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I actually learned it from TV and like music, but it was like my parents' music. So I was like Donna Summer or the Eagles, depending on which parent I was hanging out with. Like,
wow.
Yeah, they taught me English.
At that age, though, I think that's, it's probably easier than it would be now.
Oh,
To learn.
absolutely. Kids
So
soak up
that's
everything. I took 1 week of French when I was 7, and I still remember everything. But
so.
I don't
How
remember
are you
yesterday.
fluent in what? What are you fluent in?
In English and Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah, which is also something that I've kind of, because of that, I don't know, an HR role kind of seems fun, just because I can reach more people that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that sounds great. I appreciate you joining me today. Hopefully we can help get you some more exposure and get you back working.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great week. Look forward to seeing this.